On today's show, we're taking shelter from the raging return of WildStorm with the one and only Jim Lee.
Plus, it's Valentine's Day, and we're giving some love to the Lego Batman movie. So get ready for DC All Access.
Hey guys, I'm Jason Inman.
And I'm Tiffany Smith. Stop playing with the Phantom Zone projector because we've got a rundown of all the DC news you need to know.
Kate Kane is striking off on her own with a brand new adventure, and the action begins on page 1 of Batwoman Rebirth. A bioweapon called Monster Venom is spreading across the globe, and to stop it from unleashing worldwide mayhem, Batwoman will have to return to an island she never thought she'd see again. Spread your wings and pick up a copy of Batwoman Rebirth starting tomorrow.
The greatest team in comics is up against a cosmic threat that defies the laws of time in Justice League. A mysterious woman recruits the League to fight a new menace called the Timeless. But how can you defeat a villain that exists at different points across the history of the world? Warm up your cosmic treadmill and find out in Justice League number 15 this week.
Gotham's newest vigilante is taking the city's elite to task in Mother Panic. Violet's quest to take down the murderous artist known as Gala hits a speed bump when she gets a surprise visit from another hero of the Gothamverse, Batwoman. Ease your nerves and crack open issue number 3 tomorrow.
On the Vertigo side, social media has proved to be fatal for all but a few of the original 140 in Unfollow. The last remaining survivors prepare to meet the man who sent them scrambling around the world to escape death. And the final showdown in the rainforests of the Amazon will be anything but friendly. Stop playing with Snapchat filters and check out issue 16 starting tomorrow.
In movie news, it's no surprise that the Lego Batman movie is the #1 film in America. The Lego movie spinoff features hilarious voiceover performances by close personal friend of the show, Will Arnett, Zach Galifianakis, and Michael Cera, and proves The Dark Knight can do no wrong on the big screen. If you haven't seen it yet, there's only one thing to say. To the movie theater, Bat fans!
WildStorm is rolling back into the DC lineup and bringing with it new versions of classic characters written by comics legend Warren Ellis. For today's featured story, we've got DC publisher Jim Lee here to analyze the changing winds of the WildStorm #1.
So this is a revival of the WildStorm universe. Obviously, it was part of the New 52 launch. It did okay, but I think what made the WildStorm universe special was that it existed on its own. So we're revisiting that concept, and we handed the keys over to Warren Ellis and said, look, we're doing a lot of these pop-up imprints. We're really finding a creator that has a passion for a project and giving them the resources and the backing and support to realize a line, which I think is the ultimate dream for any creator. And said, look, I create these characters, but I trust your vision of it, and I'm here to support what you want to do with these characters. I completely trust you. You did awesome things with Stormwatch, Authority, Planetary, all this great stuff. And he's just been doing great. He's basically writing the anchor book, which is called The WildStorm.
Yep.
And that's a monthly title that will come out over a course of 2 years. And in that book, he really takes all the elements of WildStorm that were sort of laid out over many, many years and kind of packs it in a way that actually makes more sense from a storytelling point of view. So if you're an old-time fan, you're going to see everyone, you're going to recognize them, but they're not necessarily going to be in the exact same spots. And if you're new to it, he's really just giving you a taste of a new era of superhero comics. And I think that's one of the really cool things about Warren is that he's not one to repeat himself. He's really just going for it.
Well, I think just sitting here chatting with you about it, obviously we've gotten the idea that you're kind of overseeing or saying, okay, here are the keys to the WildStorm kingdom. But what other part are you taking in this?
That's it. No, I'm doing variant covers. So this
I was like, come on, Jim, you're doing something.
So this is the variant cover. Wow. This is the first. I wanted to do something very different because I kept thinking about what makes Warren's writing really cool in my mind is that there's a certain coolness to it, much like fashion imagery, fashion photography. Like when I see ads, it makes you like want to be that person, but you realize I can't be. I'm not.
What are you talking about, Jim? You showed that cover, I'm like, I want to be that, and I can't.
Right, exactly. So there's a weird detachment emotionally to it, which I think that's part and parcel of fashion, and he has that in his writing. It's like these characters are so cool, they're aspirational, but there's no way I would ever be able to deliver a line or be that cool in a scene, right? These are beyond cool, and I think that's always been a hallmark of his writing. And That's what influenced doing kind of different covers like this. The next one is going to focus on Grifter. This is just a pencil, and this actually is reminiscent of an ad where he's like in the same kind of general pose.
Oh my gosh.
But so I wanted to really kind of pick different fashion moments and see if I can kind of use that to inspire different covers. And so it's Grifter kind of fiddling with a handgun over here.
Well, and I mean, I've talked with you about variant covers and doing different things before. I don't know that I've ever heard you talk about like going to photography that.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of that actually. I draw pretty much from my head. But there are times, again, I wanted to make Warren proud. You know, I didn't want to just do a cover with all the Wildcats and WildStorm characters fighting each other with no negative space. You know, I read the first issue, read the overview. I understand what he's trying to do. I said, look, what can I do differently that I haven't done before?
Yeah.
So I kind of went somewhere else just as a different starting point. That's kind of like the cool thing about it, is watching Warren come in and rebake all this stuff and reimagine it. And it's very, very focused on the different political organizations that we had between Wildcats and International Operations and Halo and Stormwatch. It's fun. It's fun as a fan, and it's fun as a creator to see it.
Well, it sounds awesome. I can't wait.
Back in my day, we walked 15 miles uphill, both ways, through sleet and snow to get to the panel of the week.
Before we go, we've got a special Valentine's Day prize pack featuring DC's most famous couples to give away to one lucky fan.
We've got Rebirth collected editions of Aquaman, Green Arrow, Superman, a copy of Love is Love, plus the entire miniseries of Midnighter and Apollo.
Oh, and we're also going to throw in this Joker and Harley Quinn Suicide Squad statue from DC Collectibles. No big deal.
So if you want to take all this cool stuff home, what you need to do is head over to dccomics.com/watch and win, and then fill out the form for your chance to win.
Don't forget to click subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow.